Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. This one is a community car sent in by Zyphos, and he's actually against Slade X, who we had on the channel earlier this week. So it should be cool, you know, some familiar faces. Zyphos is scary good. I think we had him on, didn't we? Yeah, he was on as well the other week. It's, yeah, these guys seem to just keep fighting each other. Anyway, this was from a tournament that Aristodemus put on the other day. It was the teacup, I think, something like that. The coffee cup, that was it. It was the coffee cup. So yeah, it was a fun one. So this was part of I think a best of 3, but this was a very cool game. So you can see Zyphos playing the High Elves, and actually just before we start, I've got a horrible sore throat. So if I'm barely able to speak by the end of this, because this is a long one, yeah, that's why. I'm already dying, but you know, I'm going to struggle through it for you guys. So bear with me. So anyway. Alariel the Radiant, pretty obvious pick. He's against Greenskins. Arcane Unforging is just too useful, and that healing is great when you have basically the rest of his army. Yeah, Fireborn, you want to keep them healed up, for sure. They are too valuable. And the Fireborn are just great. That anti-large is fantastic, but they just have great combat stats, great charge bonus. So even things like Black Hawks they can charge into, do a ton of work and leave. You know, they're just very good. They can basically fight anything they want, which is very, very nice. Also over here there are some other Dragon Princes. There's some Silver Helms. He's got plenty of Spearmen dotted around just to help, you know, block things in. And he's got a lot of archers, and some Loathen Sea Guard. So yeah, that's actually it. That's the whole thing. You know, it's pretty simple. It's just a very high elf army, very clean and reliable. But this map is not clean and reliable. It's a pretty awful map for, you know, sort of just having 2 armies and smashing them together. It's tough. There's a load of choke points. It makes it very difficult. So Slade X over here, he's playing as the Greenskins, and first off, we're just going to see a beautiful move by the Night Goblin Shaman here. He's going to use the Vindictive Glare, and Vindictive Glare is so bloody useful in this matchup, as we'll see in a second. He also has Azag the Slaughterer, who has nothing but Spirit Leech. So yeah, he'll be generating War, he's got Spirit Leech, but he'll also have the Night Goblin Shaman for just great single target DPS, as we are about to see. Okay, yeah, you can get out of the way, little badge. I want to see the damage. Come on. Come on, man. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. So, almost half a health gone from one hit, which is just ludicrous. So she can't really probe for much longer. With the Spirit Leech and Vindictive Glare, she cannot get near. So I love that. I think that's amazing. So over here, Nasty Skulkers in the middle to help slow things down. A load of Orc Arrow Boys. Orc Arrow Boys a little bit more reliable in melee, but they've got a surprising amount of armor piercing. They've got more armor piercing with their missiles than the Goblins do, which is kind of nice. But yeah, no rusty arrows here, which is interesting. But here he's got a Hammer of Gork, which is brilliant for taking out cavalry. I know it seems odd, but if you get Nasty Skulkers, smoke bomb something, get, say, I don't know, some Big Uns or some Black Orcs, whatever else on top of some cavalry, and you just start smashing it with the Hammer of Gork. The Hammer of Gork is really accurate, does a load of damage, but it also has Blinded. So Blinded is pretty much enfeebling foe on demand. It's amazing. So if we can have a look here. So lowers accuracy by 40%, but it's also minus 26 and minus 27 melee attack and defense, which is gigantic. I mean, that's like using a enfeebling foe on whatever that it hits, but it's also killing stuff because it's giant rocks. So surprisingly good against cavalry. I recommend it. So also he's got some goblins in the back. He has an Arachnarok Spider with its 150 armor. That is tough for the High Elves to get through. High Elves don't have a huge amount of armor piercing at their disposal. You know, they got things like the Sisters of Avalon, but that's expensive, and they can get shot down by just cheaper stuff. Also over here, Morgoth's Mangy Marauders with their armor-piercing missiles. It's going to be very, very reliable. And just the Black Orcs are so sturdy. And on a map like this, you can just plug up the odd gap with Black Orcs, and good luck trying to fight through them. So, speeding things up. Oh yes, also, yeah, over here, Night Goblins and Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So there is some mischief in the back. But you see Alariel is having to run right away. Oh, and there's a Flamespire Phoenix. I don't know how I didn't notice this guy. So the Flamespire Phoenix, pretty cool in this matchup, basically, because nothing else here has terror. But you really want to have some terror. And here's another Vindictive Glare. Just bullseyes him. Look at that. It's crazy. It is crazy how good that spell is. It is so useful indeed. So a load of single target damage. It means that it's going to be very difficult for, you know, a character like Alariel to get near and use that Arcane Unforging on Azag to cancel out the War. But In this one, it's going to be very difficult to have all hands on deck, so the War might not actually be the best thing in the world. You know, it might only affect 1 or 2 units, because it's going to be difficult to get everything in combat on this map. It's going to be very easy if one area is probed to pull back with something else. But right now, Slade X is just relying on the Hammer of Gork. So he's just, you know, going to be hitting these archers. These archers are attacking, because the attacking rule, you have to be attacking. So both of them are just trying to maintain their position for as long as possible by using their missiles, which I think is a bit of a problem for the Greenskins, because really you want the Hammer of Gork to be backing things up. You want to make use of that enfeebling foe, sort of, you know, extra ability of theirs, the blinded ability. So, you know, you kind of want to be more aggressive. Over here, though, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders and the Night Goblins did rush in to attack this stuff, but they're getting wrapped up very quickly. All of the Dragon Princes and Silverhelms just came out of nowhere and have got a really good wrap on these guys. Of course, the Night Goblins here are unbreakable, because that is the Regiment of Renown. I don't know why it always just says Night Goblins. I don't know what they are. I think that's the Warlords boys, I think. Yeah, that sounds right, isn't it? It's the Warlords boys. Isn't it unbreakable? Yeah, probably. Anyway, they're there, so that's nice. And yeah, this isn't looking great for the archers. The archers have been pretty beaten up, but so some of these archers, you know, a little bit. And, well, the Hammer of Gork is half ammo now, and that's actually a much bigger deal than you'd think, because, like I said, that is great against cavalry. Once that's dealt with, it's going to be very difficult for the remaining units to deal with things like Dragon Princes. It's quite difficult to deal with that stuff. I mean, the Ragnarok Spider's certainly going to help, and yeah, the Blackhawks have a ton of armor piercing, but it's about catching these units out. It's going to be rough, you know? So here, the Nicey Skelkers actually moved to the back, because they didn't want to get shot at. Here, you can see the Night Goblin Shaman is moving forward. He can stalk, so he's hidden. He's safe to sort of probe and run out and find a juicy target. So Slade X is definitely pushing his luck here. If he moved up the whole army, then yeah, Alariel and the Phoenix would probably move away from that army. But they're not going to expect the Night Goblin Shaman to be, you know, such in the lead, right? They're not going to expect him to be so far ahead of the rest of his army. But no one can see him, so it's perfect. You know, you may as well do that and let him get the odd missile off unexpectedly. Because yeah, if you can see those missiles coming, it is possible to avoid a lot of it, but if you don't know it's coming, it makes it a lot harder. So here, Alariel and the Flamespire Phoenix, and now the Archers are coming in. I mean, not great model counts. They lost a lot of troops here, but it's worth healing up what is left. So we're going to see a nice Earth Blood on all of these units, and that's certainly going to help. Oh, and the Dragon Princes, let's not forget them. They did actually lose a couple. So Hammer of Gork still firing. Some units trying to figure out where they're going to go. It's not easy on this map, for sure. I mean, anyone attacks, you feel like if you attack, you're going to lose. Because it's just, these are both such defensible positions. You know, you attack one way and a couple others, you can just pull back, you know. The High Elf army, very maneuverable, so it can just get to where it needs to go. It can ignore a couple of attacks just to deal with one place, and then move out to deal with others. Or, if the Greenskins focus on one place, then the cavalry can get around the outside and start flanking things. So that maneuverability is a huge advantage. You know, on this map, it is very difficult. You can use them offensively, but defensively as well, because they can get where they need to be, which is not easy for a lot of other units. So it's going to be very rough to, you know, actually fight at your best, you know, get the good sort of flanks on things. But either side here, it's going to be tough, but the cavalry definitely have the advantage there. Definitely. So he's trying to start spreading things out. He's moving Alariel and the Flamespire Phoenix up around the side. He's going to see if he can probe down this way. I don't think the spider's hidden, is it? It can't be, surely. No, it's not. It can't hide. That's what I thought. But that would be a very funny surprise, just to, you know, be like, oh, giant spider. Yep, giant spider there. Let's get out of here. But anyway. So, units are starting to move out, figure out where they're going to go. You can see Loathen Seaguard moving in to try and get some shots into these arrow boys by the looks of it. Yep, there we go. So, nice opportunistic shots here. And they do have better range, I think, than the Orc Arrow boys do. They have, what, 165? These guys have 140, so the archers do have the advantage against these archers. And you can kind of tell, because these guys got very hurt, even with the support of the catapult. That is almost out of ammunition, only 1 ammo remaining. That is rough. That is definitely rough, because it means that this stuff is going to have to attack. So you can see the Mangy Marauders, they're moving in, which I think is wise. They can outrun anything. You know, at this point, I'm sure he's pretty sure that there's no Illyrian Reavers or anything like that that could actually threaten the Mangy Marauders. I mean, they're just so quick, and that armor-piercing missile damage is so useful. So here you can see the Ragnarok Spider is moving in, and this is brilliant, because the Ragnarok Spider, nothing here can stop it, so you may as well charge it in. You know, suddenly the High Elves are on the back foot. They're having to react to stuff. The Black Orcs filling in the gaps, so Ragnarok charging straight down the middle, anything that could stop it has to come in from either side. And as it's coming in the side, these guys can get in the way and get some damage in. So it's going to be very difficult to shut the Ragnarok spider down, and it's just going to feast on all these elves while, while you're trying to figure out how to stop it. And over here, these Dragon Princes are getting shot at by Morgoth's Mangy Marauders. Not something you want to happen. That armor piercing is so good. So these Dragon Princes are taking a lot of damage for, nothing, for no gain. They're not getting anything out of this, they're just getting hurt. So, over here, you see the Fireborn have charged in, but here, Gork will fix it. It's going to slow down their charge and speed, which is not good. And a Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech does a good amount of damage to cavalry. It's sort of designed mostly for single models, but it's anything sort of below, I think, 30 models? I think 30 models and less, I think it does maximum amount of damage. So even cavalry at around 45 models, it'll still hurt them a lot. So it's pretty good. So these guys running away now, they have no choice. They are getting really hurt, so much armor piercing coming in, and the Fireborn are too expensive to lose this many of so early. So they're having to try and pull out. Over here, these Black Orcs are moving in on this side. They're getting charged by the Silver Helms. Obviously, they're not going to stick around for too long. And here's the War. This is what I'm talking about. When do you use the War in a game like this? I mean, it's very difficult to get all of your stuff in combat. So here, he's just hoping that the Ragnarok Spider and these 2 units of Black Orcs could get a lot of work done with the War. Because the chances of Azag being in melee for a long time against, a High Elf army with a Phoenix, a Lariel, all the Dragon Princes, it's tough. He's not about to regenerate the War very easily. So over here, another shot into the Phoenix. Another huge amount of damage. That Vindictive Glare is just superb. But anyway, over here, the Black Orcs are just getting shot from above. They're taking a lot of damage. It's going to take a while, but all of this stuff is going to add up. It's going to add up a lot. So over here, you can see the Dragon Princes are charging in, deal with the Ragnarok, but this is sort of backwards. You want the Fireborn on the Ragnarok, and you want the Dragon Princes on the Black Orcs. You don't want to waste that anti-large bonus. So here, the Spearmen are moving in, and I'm pretty sure the Spearmen are moving in so the Fireborn can move back. But it's a little bit slow. It's a little bit slow. I think there are other things to worry about at the moment, and so this maneuver isn't going to plan. There's a bit of a delay, and the Fireborn are really being punished for that delay. Just losing models so quickly. Black Orcs hit so hard. It's very tough. But here, the Flamespire Phoenix, he's got Terror, and he's got some really nice armor piercing. So the armor piercing is going to help against the Ragnarok. Alariel's getting involved too, and we're going to see a beautiful heal, but the Fireborn couldn't get into it in time. So the Fireborn are pretty much spent. But the rest of these units are just going to heal through all of this damage that the Ragnarok can do. So over here, yeah, the spiders are back. They're going to get killed pretty quickly by the spearmen. The Black Orcs trying to push through all these guys, but he has other spearmen in reserve that can block this. And over on this side, these Black Orcs have suffered. Just outnumbered completely. And now the Silver Helms are going to start charging into these units. And one thing which I'm sure I've said on the channel before is the Goblins looks like they're spearmen, and you think, oh, better keep cavalry away. No, Goblins do not have an anti-large bonus. They're Goblins. Sure, they got spears, but they're tiny spears. Right, they're pathetic. They're not... No, they're not disciplined. They have no anti-large bonus. So feel free to charge them as much as you want with cavalry. They'll break very quickly. But here, Smoke Bomb hitting the Silver Helms, and with all of these archers firing at them, they're going to melt. They're going to melt. That's really bad. Anyway, here though, the Phoenix, being a bit opportunistic here, seeing all these archers blobbed up, he's going to do some bombards on them, which is definitely worthwhile. Definitely. He's going to get some great damage on these guys, which I like to see. Alariel's managed to heal up completely thanks to the Star of Avalon, and the Ragnarok Spider did break and have to run away. But Fireborn are back in this fight, fighting the Black Orcs, which again, I just think is insane. Why do you keep throwing these guys away? But it's happening. Anyway, over here, just so much arrow fire from different directions. The Black Orcs can't get in here and do anything, so they're having to pull away. They have no choice but to pull back, because if you run at any of these, they're going to run away and other things are going to attack, and then the cavalry can move in and pick them off. He's got to stay together. But he's pretty much in a pit right now, and all the archers can just keep shooting. It's going to be very difficult. But another Vindictive Glare, and that Phoenix is nearly dead. It's just ludicrous how much damage this Shaman has done. I mean, this Shaman is MVP already. No matter what happens in this match, that Shaman is the best unit here, I think. Better than Alariel. He's been more useful than Alariel so far, I think. Anyway, those Black Orcs finally dealt with, thanks to the other Dragon Princes charging in. But the cavalry has taken a hell of a beating. A hell of a beating. But so is most of these Black Orcs, you know? I mean, look at this. I mean, that unit's been almost completely wiped out. This one, super injured. This one, nearly on half health. The archers have taken a lot of damage too, and there's still just more archer fire coming in. These guys don't have the armor. Look at that, 30 armor? So high elf archers, perfect for dealing with them. Over here, the spearmen are obviously going to deal with the goblins, and the archers are firing, but is it spearmen? Spearmen don't mind. That's, you know, that's what Xiphos wants. He wants his spearmen to be the ones getting shot at, not any of his expensive units. So over here, you know, Forest Goblin Spider Eyes being chased off once more, but there's still just so many archers, and there's just nothing maneuverable that the Greenskins have that can catch out units very well. The fastest thing here is the Ragnarok Spider. And that's not great. Well, I say that. Alright, Morgrom's Major Marauders. But they're not going to catch anything out because they're not, you know, they're not for charging things, right? They're for kiting around and being a pain. So they get a lot of damage in, but they can't really go on the offensive in a big way, as we're about to see. So here, suddenly, everything is blobbing up. So obviously we're going to see a big heal here. You know, big old earth blood, get all of this stuff healed up again, which is something that the Greenskins just can't do. So Morgrom's Major Marauders trying to fire in, but of course there's a load of archers here that can fire back. So suddenly, Morgrom's Major Marauders are taking a lot of pain. But, similar to how we saw before, you know, everything that could possibly fight the Ragnarok Spider is over here, so it's going to run off and try and deal with some of this stuff in the absence of all this. Of course, things could break off to deal with it, but they're going to miss out on the heal. So this heal is actually buying a lot of time for the Greenskins. So very clever to run in the Ragnarok Spider there and help mop up some of this stuff. But of course now the Phoenix is going to be moving around. All the Black Orcs are going to push up here to put pressure here. And suddenly he's pressuring two areas, and it's going to be very difficult to react to either. So that's kind of cool. I like that. That's definitely a good plan. I think that's the best he could hope for at the moment. So here, he's chasing things off still, but he's going to try and sneak around the back. He's going to ignore this stuff. He knows he can't just keep chasing it. So in a second, he will send the Ragnarok Spider back around. As you can see, the Lords and Heroes are coming in, because yes, there's a Ragnarok Spider over there, but the bulk of his army is over here, and he's able to better support it with these units if he comes over here. But it looks like he does want to mop up these Orc Arrow Boys quickly. So Dragon Princes are pulling out for the moment, so they're not getting shot at. Because, yeah, these spearmen, they can hold, and yeah, that, you know, one Fireborn, that's right, one Fireborn, he's happy to hold for now. And the Dragon Princes are going to come in, hopefully get another charge bonus off. And over here, the archers try to shoot at the Ragnarok, but with 150 armor, it's just so difficult to hurt this thing. You've got to shoot at it for weeks to really make a dent. So the Ragnarok's moving around. You can see Morgrom's Major Marauders are moving around. Black Orcs are following up, but this is looking very weak. I told you guys. I told you. My voice. It's going. Anyway, Black Orcs, they're suffering here. You know, there's not a lot of strength here left. So now that the Lords and Heroes are coming in, for Azag, there's nothing here that can stop them. I mean, yeah, Nazi Skulkers are on their way. The Ragnarok's in the back, but, yep, massive heal. There was a Star of Avalon left. So he's stuck, and nothing is going to be able to make a dent on anything that can fight Azag. So Azag's just going to get dragged down, and there's no way to stop any of this stuff. So, well, I say no way. Nazi Skulkers. Smoke bombing is actually probably a very, very nice way to deal with it, but I don't think it's worked. It's hard to tell. Can't really see Azag in there very well now. He might be dead. Or is that him there? Oh, that's him there. He's still alive. But the Ragnarok, Arcane Unforging on him, because he didn't need to be using Arcane Unforging on Azag. There's no way he was going to be generating war. He's barely been in melee, and he's basically dead. So use it on the Ragnarok. Just great single target damage. You know, it's the way to do it. And here, Nazi Skulkers are in the thick of it, but the Spearmen will deal with them eventually. The Phoenix is in here causing terror. Azag still getting attacked. He is almost certainly going to die. Almost certainly. So there are some archers left. There's one unit of Black Orcs, but look at this. People, you know, they're just pulling away from him, and so they can just shoot at him at their leisure. And that's enough to trigger army losses. Pyrrhic victory. Wonderful fight. The map just makes it so interesting, I think. I introduced him as Xiphos, didn't I? Yeah, I'm an idiot. It's Slayer. What is wrong with me? Okay, my bad. My bad, guys. Yeah, I'm being an idiot. Slayer, great performance. Not Xiphos. God damn it. Anyway, yeah, like I said, guys, you know, horrible throat. Just leave me alone, okay? I'm trying my best. So, yeah, Slayer. Okay? It was Slayer, not Xiphos, versus Sladex. I think I got that bit right. Sorry, I've been sent so many replays recently. Yeah, I keep getting confused as to which one's which. I'm really bad with names. Anyway, sorry, Slayer. Sorry. And Xiphos, if you're watching this and really confused throughout the whole thing of, hang on, I don't remember playing this. Yeah, you didn't, so don't worry about it. So, yep, classic Janet. So, guys, this was wonderful. I think both armies here were really good. and both really well played. They both just tried to grab an advantage where they could, you know. It was such a just a horrible fight to have, because you never know if when you move something a certain direction if it's going to get caught out completely, because the map just throws everything out the window. You know, everyone's used to just having two armies in an open field clashing. Maybe you've got a couple of cavalry and trees or something, but you know, you don't have all of this terrain in the way usually. And so having to try and figure out how to make best use of that terrain, it can be very difficult. And I think they both did great. They both had some great plays, and it made it really cool. So, I mean, that'll be it, I guess. That's all that needs to be said. You saw the game, you saw what happened, and it was wonderful. It was really good. Just so tense. It was really hard to tell who would get it in the end. You know, so many decent units got caught out at different times. It was really hard to figure out quite how that was going to change things. And that vindictive glare, I mean, MVP with the Night Goblin Shaman, just superb. That is such a great spell in this matchup, and I think it's a great idea to have, because Arcane on Forging, you know, use that on a Lord, and they lose War and any spells they might have. You know, they lose that for 30 seconds, so it really makes them suffer. But if you've got two spellcasters, not usually something I'd recommend, but here, it makes total sense, because they are going to bring Arcane on Forging. So I love that by Slade X, but Slayer just managed to get the better of him. So, absolutely wonderfully played by both of you guys. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.